How does your CPU's memory controller impact RAM speed? Imagine your computer as a busy city and the CPU's memory controller as the traffic cop directing data traffic. It manages how fast information moves between your processor and memory. This controller is built into the CPU itself and acts like a gatekeeper for RAM data flow. Even if you buy the fastest RAM available, the memory controller inside your CPU can only handle certain speeds. So, your RAM's maximum speed is limited by what the CPU's memory controller supports. When you install high-speed RAM, it won't automatically run at those speeds unless your CPU's memory controller can handle it. If the RAM speed exceeds the controller's limit, your system will usually downclock the RAM to a supported frequency. Sometimes, you can manually set the RAM speed in the BIOS or UEFI firmware by adjusting settings like the memory frequency or enabling profiles like Extreme Memory Profile. This is important because it allows you to get the best performance your hardware can support. Different CPUs have different memory controller capabilities. Newer models tend to support higher RAM frequencies and more advanced memory technologies. For example, some modern Intel and AMD processors can support RAM speeds of over 4,000 MHz, which can help with faster data transfer and lower latency. This can make games run smoother, especially in titles that relying heavily on quick data access or are CPU intensive. For gaming, matching your RAM speed to what your CPU's memory controller supports is key. If you use RAM that is faster than what your CPU can handle, you'll need to manually adjust settings or accept that your system will run the RAM at a lower speed. Using features like Extreme Memory Profile can help your RAM run at its rated speed if your motherboard and CPU support it. Faster RAM speeds can give you small but noticeable improvements in game performance. They can reduce latency and increase bandwidth, which helps with smoother gameplay. But these gains are often modest and depend on the game and your overall system setup. In the end, your CPU's memory controller sets the maximum speed your RAM can run at. Picking RAM that matches your CPU's supported speeds and your motherboard's capabilities ensures your system runs stable and performs well. Overinvesting in RAM speeds beyond what your CPU can support usually won't give you extra benefits and might make tuning your system more complicated.